Here we go, baby. Here we go. Here we go, baby.
Hey,
Here
we're
we
up.
go. Oh,
We're up. We're up. So get a hit, Vin.
we're live, baby. We're live.
The
Live is
Giants got
live.
swept. Giants got swept by the Marlins. The Miami Marlins swept us, and the Mets had some problems with the Phillies.
Mets have having problems with everybody this year. I think the biggest problems is themselves. Well, they got injuries. I mean, you can hang a little bit on injuries, but everybody's got injuries. So
That's true.
what did REM sing? Everybody hurts. Well, that's
There's truth to that.
at this time of year, everybody's hurting. That's the truth. And I don't know. You just can't. The good teams are shaking out. The really good teams are showing themselves, and Atlanta and
L.A.
Phillies and LA, and LA you figure, and the Brewers. I mean, it's the usual suspects, and
And the
they're
Giants aren't on that list. Not the good side, anyway.
yeah. No, they're not. Yeah, they're showing themselves, but they're not showing what you want to. You're showing empty seats in September.
Another complaint I have against AI is the stories that it makes up that run under the heading of your team. If you're a Philly fan, they make up strange stories. If you're a Giants fan,
Yeah,
the stories they've been making up that have no basis in truth whatsoever is the trade coming up with the Yankees. Apparently, the Giants are just trading a couple members of their infield to be named later for a starting pitcher from the Yankees. And why the Yankees are going for this, only the AI creators can explain to you. And those stories run every day.
yeah,
I don't every damn day.
yeah. You can't. It's you. I don't know the percentage. I forget the percentage, but a large percentage of people get their news from Facebook and social media.
Instagram, yeah.
And these stories are prolific all over. These AI stories, these made up stories, these stories that have no basis. They can't even get the spellings of the names right, or there's always something within 2 minutes of reading one of these stories that show it to be nothing more than
Tripe.
just AI bullshit.
Just tripe left on the picnic table in the sun.
And there is no safeguards for this whatsoever. The industry has
just fine with it.
Yeah, it's just fine with it because it gets people to look at stuff, and that's their sole mission is to get you to respond to Pavlov's to the bell, to the ding ding that when your phone goes off, or when you see something that says Giants, and they word it so that it looks like it might be official, but once you see it for a second, you know that it's. Well, here's the problem. People of above certain intelligence
cannot be fooled.
Usually will not be fooled. I'm not going to say you never get fooled, but for the most part, the people who's taking a quick glance, or the people who just don't have to, they're just looking at it. I know people. I can't tell you how many times that I know people that have got a hold of me or said to me, "Look at this story. How come you don't know about this? Or how come this? Or how come that? Look at this story." And it's nothing but AI bullshit.
Yeah. You can always tell when there's a headline that has no information in it. The name, the location, the specifics, the who, what, where, when, and how are completely left out of it because they don't have it.
Right.
They don't. They got nothing on the under.
Well, they write a headline and it has nothing to do with the story. The headline, right. What is it? Beloved Mariner dies.
Right.
Something like that. Yeah, the beloved Mariner was Gaylord Perry, died 15 years ago. They all die, at some point. And it's when broadcast started, when radio started, when television started, the federal government applied certain standards that said you must do this, you must do this, you must do this, you must do this, you must
operate in the public interest.
Operate in the public interest. Operate in a manner that you consistently tell the truth. That you consistently give opposing viewpoints equal time. That you consistently that you act in a manner that is not only in the public interest but protects the public. These social media people that we broadcast on have nothing.
They owe you nothing. They don't owe you the truth. They don't owe you anything.
There's nothing. It's the Wild West, and it's left to you to figure it out. Now, normally I would say, well, that's democracy. That's the laissez-faire we learned about in.
Look how that's working.
And
for Donald Trump and for his.
And you look
minions.
at it, and you go, you got to be kidding me. And for our minds, we're experienced in the world. We look at it, and most of the time we're going to look at it, and people, I consider us to be above average intelligence, even though I may not sound like it sometimes. I look at it, I analyze it, and third or fourth line in, that it's AI bullshit. YouTube is full of it. You want to see AI bot bullshit? Go on X.
Worst, sometimes they have narrators, and the worse the narrator and the more non-professional his voice, the worse the content.
And the only thing is that the AI voices they use, because they're such shitty, they all use like the same AI voice. They don't even change it. I mean, I could see where this will bring society down. I could see where this will lead to some kind of mass casualty incident. Some kind, everybody says, well, it's going to make our lives better. It's going to make this. It isn't if you don't regulate it. It isn't if you don't get off your ass and do something about it. But the money from this is lining the pockets of these.
The money's with the villains of AI.
Right. Lining the pockets of these scumbags. And I call them scumbags because you can't operate. You can't. You can't operate like that without being some kind of just selfish. I mean, you look at the tech bros, you look at these people, and with very few exceptions, they live in a different world. They give a fuck about nobody else.
And they were all at the G7. They were all with the heads of government and influencing them with the tripe and the garbage that they make. And
it's a club that you and I will never be able to get into. The average person will never be able to get into. And this is
not if you care about who, what, where, when, and how.
And nobody cares. Nobody cares. The Congress that's supposed to be doing something about it
doesn't even understand the problem.
I think they understand it. I just think they're so in the pockets of these guys and women that they're so used to taking the money. They're so used to getting whatever they're giving out that they're not going to give that up.
It's just new business as usual.
And the average person is going to be at their mercy in the future. Because they give you a loan for a new truck to drive. And so you're now going out there and you're working to make your house payments and your truck payments. And is that any different of a form of indentured servitude? You're bound to the banks. Now, I guess you have a choice. You could not do it. You can drive the old car. But again, with the advertising, with the suggestion that you have to have this, you have to have that, you have to have this, you have to have that. The combination is lethal.
Don't forget the undercoating.
Yeah, the combination is lethal. And I'm getting ready to shuffle off. But if you're my daughter's age, if you're my godson's age, my nephew's age, you got a problem. If you can't join them, you got a problem.
And you can't beat them.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You can't beat them, so joining them seems like the logical thing to do, which is deadly.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to beat them. I don't know the answer to it. Well, I know the answer to it. The answer would be government control. Would be a government that acts to protect its people. But this government is not going to protect its people.
Donald Trump calls his site Truth Social. It's neither true nor social. It's a disease that feeds on the idiocy of the people that join in. And truth is never a consideration. Never.
The damage that has been done to this country, to this world, to the earth, to society, will not be able to be repaired for years. The lying, the making lying fashionable, to
acceptable.
Make lying acceptable.
With no downside to it. You said that was a lie. And what? And what's your point?
Well, because the people, we have the attention span of gnats.
This is the common house gnat, not the super corporate gnat.
If they can get if they can get gas prices down 50 cents a gallon in another month or two, by the time the election rolls around, people will have forgotten how bad it is right now.
I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be possible, because from what I can tell, nobody knows whether the Strait of Hormuz is open or closed. What is it? What is it this morning, Vinnie?
I don't know. As far as I knew this morning, the last I saw it was closed.
And no matter how often they say it's open, and they say it's open once or twice a day, the facts remain that if it's closed and you say it's open, you improve your lot in life by saying it's open. This is going to be a factor 20 years into the future. Well, it's the first day of summer, Vinnie. I wonder if the Strait of Hormuz is open. I'm going to guess yes, it's open. You can bet your last silver dollar that it's closed.
I haven't looked at the YouTube channel I usually look at. What's up with shipping? So I don't know.
No.
So I don't know. Yeah, no. It's a YouTube channel. Guy's very good. I've talked about this thing before, where the guy is Italian guy from Long Island, Sal Mercogliano, I think his name is, and he's a professor of is it ocean logistics, I guess, and he knows all about this stuff. I mean, he's got the dope on whether things are moving. He's a former merchant marine. I mean, this guy knows his stuff. And so one tune in today, 30 minutes of watching this guy, and you know what's going on over there. And I will usually watch him every day. It's just that I was gone for a few days. And I didn't get a chance to watch him. So I don't know. But usually in the morning I get up and I turn his channel on and I listen to it. I know about what's going on in shipping in the Straits of Hormuz, because he keeps his eye on it tightly. And
you were just out of the country. What's gas prices like in Canada?
Well, here's the problem, Michael. It looked like it was about 182, whatever unit they sell it up there. I think it's
Imperial gallon or whatever.
No, it's not the Imperial gallon anymore. That's years ago. but it appeared to be higher than it is here. I didn't fill up there because I had an electric car. And let me tell you something. Canada is ready for the electric car. Canada has, I mean, they have BC Power, which is their electric company up there, has electric charging stations
Everywhere.
that are just like gas stations. You pull in, they have lights, they have 6 or 8 chargers, they have the high-speed chargers. You pull in, you plug in, you power up, and you go.
You can
And they're all over the
you can
country.
buy a Canadian beer and a lighter at the cash
You can-
register.
Well, I discouraged the beer and the driving in one, but you can, there's a around,
Dr. Pepper.
yeah, and they're in parking spaces, municipal downtowns. There's charging machines. There's charging machines everywhere. They are ready for the electric car. They have electric cars up there. With the Chinese coming, and the Chinese are going to dump money into that infrastructure as well to make sure that they can sell those how many cars they're going to import coming up this year.
What's the name of the Chinese car? What's it called?
Well, there's several of them. There's the BYD, there's the Geely, there's the I forget a couple other names off the top of my head, but there's 6 or 7 companies that are gearing up to be there already. And those cars, they're going to sell every one they can sell, they can make, they can import, because the Canadians are, I don't know. After spending a few days in Canada, I'm starting to think that they're a lot smarter than we are.
Well, the
government seems to be interested in the plight of the people.
And they're pretty well done with Detroit. Trump won't open the bridge that goes from Windsor to Detroit. And
yeah, they're holding the Gordie Howe Bridge hostage. We have 3 neighbors. And when you have a neighbor that's 90 miles from one of your big cities, that's a neighbor. And what we have done and are doing to Canada and Cuba, especially Cuba, and you're not hearing anything about this on the news.
Starving them out.
The Cuban schools have had to close 2 weeks early because kids don't have gasoline. They don't have gasoline for the school buses to get the kids to the schools. Now, Cuba has one of the best education systems in the world. It puts our education system to shame what they do with education in that country. I mean, when you go into a classroom and all the kids play musical instruments, when you go into a classroom and all the kids have books and uniforms, when you go into the classroom and you see the hunger for education that you see, and I went there, went in the classrooms there, and talked to kids. Brought we made our trip to Cuba several years ago. They asked us for guitar strings, violin strings. That's what they wanted. They didn't ask us for toys. They didn't ask us for money. They asked us for guitar strings, for violin strings, for ways to repair and keep their musical instruments in tune so that they could continue to play and teach their kids how to play instruments. And they are now down to 4 hours a day of electricity in Cuba. That's all they can run. The hospitals, the doctors, the people have less than nothing.
And it's a result of the squeeze that Trump's putting them on them.
And Trump has put them on a squeeze because he wants to change the government. He wants to.
And of course, he's a champion at that because look at what a great job he's done with ours.
Yeah. Oh, he changed our government, all right.
Yep. Regime change.
And he envisions this back to the 1950s of Cuba, I guess. And he's willing to, and what bothers me, or especially it bothers me about it, is that his little spank boy, Marco Big Shoes Rubio, is willing to sit there and let it happen. A native of Cuba, a person whose parents, at least, I don't know about him, but his parents know the pain and suffering that those people go through, and how they've resisted America for so long, how they've worked around the United States. And instead of going in and saying, look, let's help these people, give them a helping hand.
Let's see how miserable they can get.
Let's see how much we can squeeze them.
No one will complain. No one will stop us.
Let's watch kids starve. Let's watch people have nothing have less.
Yeah. And we can be proud that this is a result of what we've done.
And we'll have a perfect negotiating position. And it's shameful. It's a crime what they're doing to Cuba. And it's because, again, of a government. And I say this all the time, Michael. I've said it for years. Is one day, maybe not in my lifetime, hopefully not in your lifetime, hopefully not in mine, hopefully not in our kids, but one day the tables are going to be turned. One day, some other country is going to have the upper hand. And they're going to put the screws on the United States the way we've put the screws on people. And we have the balls to call ourselves Christian. The people who are doing this have the balls to call themselves Christians. Is this what Jesus would do?
There's a hostile side to Christianity that you're not giving full credit for.
True. Yeah. True.
They've learned and they've learned well. They've taught themselves to wean themselves from the Jesus loves you thing, because that just wasn't selling then. We can't go into Greenland and say Jesus loves you. That's the wrong message.
Yeah, it's and then the other end, you got Canada, and we've done everything we could do to screw up our relationship with them.
They know better now.
Although you couldn't tell it by the people you talk to, or nobody gave us. Car we had Michigan plates on it. You couldn't.
A bit of a giveaway.
Yeah, you couldn't tell. Nobody threw eggs at our car or gave us the finger or anything like that.
They played, say, Michigan, almost Canada.
But it's sad. And as I said on our show on Friday, I was impressed with the amount of public information that was put out there for people who were suffering economically because of the sanctions and because of things that were going on, the tariffs and so on and so forth. The amount of information on how we can help you, the government, what we can do for you, how we're going to help you, how you can get you can apply for this and you can get that and you can get this relief. And
assistance is in place.
The government is here to respond to your problems, is here to help you.
You would think that after 2 terms of Donald Trump and all the time between now and the crazy 1960s, Cafe Wa is still in New York, still in the Village. How did that happen? How's it still there? Because it was just a hole in the wall.
Well, it's a landmark, you see.
Now it's a national landmark.
Well, I don't know if it's a national landmark. I don't know if it has that kind of status. I know that,
Manhattan landmark.
yeah, it's a place that for years has hosted
Open mic.
bands. No, bands. I mean, bands have gone down there. Now it lives much more on reputation and local bands. But for years, that was a place where bands went. Matter of fact, there's a great story. I don't know how true it is or not. I've heard it for years that one night, many, many, many years ago, Sly and the Family Stone was scheduled to play there. And somehow, some way, their bus didn't show up. Their band of merry pranksters didn't show up. And so there was a band who happened to be in New York in the audience that they knew the booker of the club, but they were trying to get booked, and they were there. And anyway, so they said we need somebody to fill in, and they said, well, we'll do it. We're here. We got enough stuff. You got a drum kit here. We got some stuff, and that band was the Castiles. Bruce Springsteen's first band, and they played in place of Sly and the Family Stone that night, and got spotted. They never went anywhere, but certainly the energy of Springsteen was spotted that night by some people. So
hard to miss him.
Yeah. So, but it's that kind of place. It's a place where it was in the 60s, along with there was a circuit around Bleecker and McDougal.
Crossroads in the Village.
Yeah, the Cafe Wah, the Village Gate, the Fiend John.
Bitter End.
There's another one that I'm missing. Did I say the Village Gate? Yeah, I said the Village Gate. There's another one I think I'm missing. But anyway.
Village Gate had the Fantastics playing there for, 15 years?
Oh, more than that, I think.
20 maybe.
What? Was it Gertie's Folk City?
Mm-hmm.
Gertie's Folk City. That was some of the in that area, right by NYU,
right
on Bleecker, on McDougal,
all walking distance from one another.
Yeah, all right in the same area. So you could catch, Pete Seeger at 1. Go to another one for a 10 o'clock show and catch Bob Dylan. Go to another one and catch Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Dave Van Ronk.
Dave Van Ronk. I was just going to say his name. And all those different 60s iconic folk and folk rock acts that, it was the birth of something down there that became our folk music scene. And really eventually our rock and roll scene. Could also catch
they electrified it and off it went.
Yeah, you could walk through Washington Square Park on a Sunday afternoon and hear any number of bands just playing by the fountain.
Good place to go if you needed a rhythm section.
Hey, I used to go there. I remember this distinctly. I used to go there and play. Not play, but sing and hang out with David Peel in the Lower East Side, who were, most people remember the Have a Marijuana album and so on and so forth. Remember David Peel from Howard Stern. But before they were doing the Have a Marijuana thing, when they were still kind of speaking in code, the whole thing was about smoking bananas.
Nanners.
Smoking bananas. And it'd get 1,000 people, 2,000 people around that fountain at Washington Square Park, and David Peel and a bunch of different people would be playing and passing the hat, and there'd be Crazy Vinnie on the tambourine.
Good
Bananas! Job, I want to my local A&P.
Dry them carefully. Dry them slowly. Don't rush the
What was
process.
it? It was 350 degrees in the oven for 40 minutes.
Mellow yellow.
Yep. The banana trippers. Oh, man.
Now it's the Savannah bananas. Crazy baseball.
Yeah. I don't know why. It doesn't do anything for me. I think you know what? I know it's entertaining and I know the kids love it and this and that and the other thing, but I just think it's not that it doesn't even bother me that it mocks the game, because I guess it does in some ways. And then I look back at Eddie Feiner and his All-Stars never bothered me. Max Patkin didn't bother me. The baseball clown that used to play in the 50s. But these guys,
I'm
maybe
coming
it's
to your
the
town to strike you out.
Yeah, maybe it's the uniforms. I don't know. Silver bullets never bothered me.
Well, what about the clowns?
No, none of them ever bothered me. But for some reason, the Savannah Bananas, I just can't. I don't know. It just doesn't. I mean, I don't hate it, but I wouldn't go see it. I watched.
Probably beat the Giants.
Well, yeah, the way things are going, it's not a pretty scene for any of our teams at the moment.
We were a 500 team last year. We improved it in 6 positions, and now we're so far out of first place. So far from being a 500 team. So far from self-respect.
Well, maybe they can. Nah. I was gonna say maybe they can mount some kind of something, but yeah, strangely like the Mets, you don't see anything. I mean, well, at least the Mets have a couple of really superstar players, and if they get healthy and they get on the track, but
doesn't look too promising.
Yeah, I mean they're going to Chicago. Lindor is getting ready to come back. I mean, he's been a big piece that's been missing for them.
Yeah.
But when he comes back, the thing is, are these other off the field kind of locker room problems going to surface their heads again?
All losing teams have those kind of problems because there's no place to go, no place to shake the image of losing another one.
Yeah, so they're going to Chicago. Kodai Senga, who's 0-5 on the season, will pitch tonight. He's been a major disappointment for them. And Imanaga is pitching for the Cubs. Not that he's doing any great shakes either. But the Mets have dug them. The Mets have a star next to their name, and I'm just wondering if they're eliminated already.
Here's a baseball story that I got this just yesterday from my daughter, Kailani. West Hill 6-and-under All-Stars black fall to Canberra 6-and-under white All-Stars, despite Bo Musha's big day at the plate. Bo Musha drove in 4 runs on 4 hits, but West Hill's 6-and-under All-Stars blacks fell to the 6-and-under All-Stars white 23-16 on Sunday. Despite the loss, West Hill's All-Star black collected 31 hits in the high-scoring affair, featuring Bo Musha, 4 for 4.
There you go.
Yay.
31 hits. There's a lot of kids not bending down for the ball, I think.
You got to charge that ball.
Well, yeah, you got to. It's, well, you know what? The kids, is he having fun doing it?
You can't get enough of it.
Then that's a good thing. That he's having, it's you just got to, the thing, when you have kids, you just got to keep it fun for them, I mean, keep them happy playing. Make them love the game.
Don't miss practice.
Wait, say again?
Don't miss practice. Show up. Be there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't. Yeah. I mean, that's the number one thing you got to do is show up. Show up ready. Show up
like
ready to play.
That's right.
Show up without an attitude. Show up.
And you can pick up that attitude sometimes from the other team. They look more ready than we do. How come?
Yeah, if you, whether you're the best team in the league or the worst team in the league, you go out there to play. When you show up, you respect the game, and you go out there and you're ready to play. That's respecting the game.
True enough.
And it's never too early to learn that. Never too early to, just to get that idea that when you show up, you practice, you show up for a game, that you're at your best when you're out there on the field, that you're paying attention.
If you hit it to me, I don't care what the score is. You hit it to me, you're in trouble.
Right. If you're getting 4 hits on a day, you're paying attention. You got something. Again, young kids and everything, things can change, but I'm glad he's doing what he's doing. And I'm glad he's enjoying the game. I mean, there's nothing that I love more than hearing that a kid loves baseball.
That's what we got.
And it's a lot easier than playing football, let me tell you. You're not getting your head bashed in every day at practice. And it's fun to be the hero.
Yeah.
Even at 6 years old, it's fun to be. The pizza tastes better when you win the game. But it's not as bad tasting if you get 4 hits on a day. It's good. I bet he's having I bet you the most important thing, he's making friends.
That's right.
At 6 years old, that's what it's about. You're making friends. You're learning to work together with other kids. You're learning that even though
their weaknesses.
Well, yeah, and you're learning that you're an individual. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much you're playing strengths and weaknesses at 6 years old.
Well, like he can catch and he can throw.
Yeah, you just, what? Play the game like we show you. Make sure you get on your knee. When you're catching or get down on when you're catching a ground ball, low to the ground. Make sure that you take it. You're thinking about throwing it. When you throw it, that your throw to first base, you're not just throwing, but you're trying to pinpoint that, get that ball right,
get that target right,
hit that target right. When you're pitching, this is the best time to learn the fundamentals of the game.
You have to.
Well, that's what makes it fun,
right.
And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes. You see somebody make a basket catch on TV or something like that, and you go, I want to do it like that.
And it doesn't matter how old you are, that ball will eat you up sooner or later. I don't care what team you're on.
Or whether it's on the way up or on the way down. The ball is going to
The ball's got tricks that you haven't seen yet. How the hell did that happen?
Oh, man. At least you got to, it's amazing to me. Now he's gone to a couple of Dodger games, right?
One.
So you're going to take him to another one?
I will not.
Just checking.
That would mean I would have to go.
And that would mean Dodger Stadium would collapse.
And I don't want Shohei Ohtani's injury to be blamed on me.
And it would be in many quarters. It would be blamed on you. It would be, you take the hit for that. So, what did you come away with this weekend with this Iran business? Do you think that they got Vance over there?
Between J.D. Vance and the two idiots that have negotiated this mess, and Trump separate from them, and the State Department separate from all of them, Nobody's in charge. Nobody's driving. The goalposts keep getting moved. You can't please Trump. He threatens the life of the people that are negotiating while they're at the table. It just it looks like it's further and further from resolution. It's further and further from the truth. It's further and further from. I mean, what are we doing? We're not trying to end the war. What are we trying to do? What exactly? How would you describe our efforts so far? Because they seem to be at odds with themselves. And the two guys we have negotiating are both real estate idiots. Kirshner, of course, is a crook, and Ludnick is a friend of Epstein. These are the guys that are leading the charge for us and across the borders of the nations of the world. And everybody else just looks on. Our so-called allies in waiting that were telling Trump at the G7, when you get this together, we got your back. We'll help you work it out. We're in favor of peace. Go on, go get them. Negotiate the peace. And look at the mess that we've had since then. It's just every day it's another tragedy of misunderstanding, misquotes, missed opportunity. I don't know what we're doing, but it's not peace. Well, it's not war. It's the Trump chaos machine.
It's interesting to see that the first round of the talks that were that J.D. Vance was overnight resulted in Iran agreeing to resume nuclear inspections, and the U.S. Reportedly easing sanctions. Now, if this is true, it basically brings you back to the same exact thing that you had
when you tore it up
and tore up with the JCPOA, I guess they call it, the original agreement, the Obama agreement. Can't call it that because it drives Trump into a rage. And while they'll tell you that it's a different deal, it's not all of the analysis I've seen says that it's not a different deal.
Plus, so the elements of the deal can only include what was there before. Add a war, add the people who have died, add the awful relationship between us, and so all we did was make it worse.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is that we've now lost 13 American servicemen's lives.
Hundreds injured.
I forget 200 and something, 300 injured.
And we went into it with an ally, and with Israel. Now we're not so sure.
Right. We were, by all accounts, goaded into it by Israel, which shows you how absolutely weak Donald Trump is. That Netanyahu manipulated him into doing it. Now, some people are going to say, well, what else were they going to do? But the problem is they had a deal. There was a deal in place.
And they muffed it.
And in the bluster and the bullshit of Donald Trump, he's directly responsible for those lives. Because this whole thing didn't have to be. Not only that, he's also responsible, I think, for the lives of the school children.
Of course he is.
That were killed.
They had old targets. They figured out what was wrong with that deal. How do you kill 100 people by accident? It wasn't by accident. They used old targets. And that school had been founded on a site that was once part of the military.
And I don't, I see people praising Donald Trump for this deal.
Yeah.
And I just, I just look at it and go, how do you praise it to the people who lost their sons, their daughters, the people who are going to have be crippled for life, be paralyzed for life, lose an arm or a leg? How do you justify it to them? How do you justify it to the civilians that were killed, to the destruction that was done, that we're going to pay for, that we're going to rebuild? American taxpayer dollars
Spend $2 million on a missile and then spend $10 million to fix it.
are going to rebuild Iran. That's money that they're not going to have to spend.
Do they get a Trump hotel in Tehran?
And again, I object to my money being spent on the bombing of Iran, and I object to my money being spent to rebuild Iran. Did they
let them sell oil and rebuild it themselves?
Yeah, it's not like they're going to have no money. You're going to lift the sanctions. Plus, you're giving them more cash than Obama gave them. The exact thing that Trump derided is the exact thing that they're going to do. They're going to deliver a handful of cash, a barrel full of cash, to Iran.
And J.D. Vance said over the weekend to Israel, "You've got one friend in the world. That's us. And look at the way you're treating us. Look at the way we're going to treat you in return."
It's mind-boggling. I mean, I'm glad that I'm glad that they're negotiating something. I'm glad that the killing isn't going on. I'm glad that if this is true, that they can get those nuclear stuff out of Iran.
The enriched uranium.
That's the enriched uranium has to be removed from Iran so it can't be hidden.
But do we know where it is, and do we know how much of it there was?
That's part of what they got to do. They got to verify how much there is, where it is, and how do we get it out of there? How do we put it somewhere where they don't have access to it, so they can, start up their program again clandestinely? I mean, we made that mistake with the Germans of letting them, have build, weapons between World War I and World War II without really saying anything.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that good of an idea. So you look and you just say to yourself, again, I look at this and I'm glad that there's a truce. I'm glad that they're trying to bang out a peace. I'm glad but again, what a waste.
Ludwig and Kushner are as incompetent as any other guys working for Trump. They're weak. They're mindless. They're followers. They're fearful. They can't negotiate anything. They've got us in this mess so far. And Trump can veto whatever he wants as it goes. He'll get the memo from the talks and say, "Well, I don't like this. I don't like that. Send it back."
Oh, I'm sure.
And while I'm doing it, I'm going to threaten the lives of the guys you're talking to every day.
Well, it's it's kind of a stupid way to negotiate, especially with people that take hostages. Nobody's really saying that, but especially with people that are taking hostages.
You can have Kushner and you can have JD
that are known to take hostages.
Proud of it.
Yeah, they wear it on their sleeves like it's a badge of honor.
A gift to the Ayatollah.
You play a dangerous game, man. It's not funny. It's just weird to me that they wouldn't even, that they would just.
So is Israel our ally? Is Israel our enemy? I don't know.
Boy, I think they're our ally.
The most conservative part of the coalition that Netanyahu keeps together so he can be prime minister, those members are our enemy. The most left-leaning members of the coalition are our friends and our ally. And Netanyahu's in the middle, surfing the difference between the two so he can stay in power. So depending on what day it is, he'll ride with the conservatives, who are hostile and warmongers, or with the more conservatives, who are the peace lovers and the conciliatory side of the coalition that keeps him as prime minister. And if any upended problem happens that undoes that balance, he won't be prime minister. Somebody else will be in there. And who will they be beholden to? The conservatives who are pro-war, or the socialists who are pro-peace? Not that you can tell the difference from a distance.
Well, I don't.
If you think it's easy being prime minister, ask what's going on in England today. They don't. They just got rid of theirs.
Well, yeah, because they've been everybody used to make fun of Italy having 10 governments. What was it? Since World War II, they had 40 governments or 50 governments. I forget how many.
They weren't even trying.
And England has become the same way. This is what there will be their 8th prime minister in 10 years.
Yeah.
How do you run a country like that?
That's the question they're asking.
How do you keep faith in a country? Now their rules are different in that
they can call for elections anytime.
Right. There's that, and also there seems to be more faith and credibility when you make a deal with the government. Here, nobody knows what's going on, because when the Democrats come in, they're going to change things again. Going
to change the letterhead.
Well, they're certainly going to make changes in the government when if the Democrats get in.
And I don't know who the new PM in England is going to be, what the favorite is.
I was reading about it before. I think it's I thought it was the guy from, was it Manchester? Wait,
the Hollies are from Manchester, where they do bus stop.
Maybe they'll
Carrie Ann. King Midas in reverse. That's what they should play.
There you go. Andy Burnham, the Labour Party mayor. Yeah, I think he's mayor of
Manchester.
I think he's. No, it's Ashton in Makerfield. Is where he's from. Greater Manchester.
He's a suburban guy.
Yeah, he's
from the Alameda of Manchester, the San Ramon of Manchester, the Woodland Hills of Manchester.
He's optimistic and happy and enjoys being a politician.
We'll soon put an end to that, Andy.
Exactly. It'll be over. But I guess he was born in Liverpool in 1970. So
good start.
He met Pope Francis in 2023. He's a Roman Catholic. My mom was with me. He's a lifelong fan of the Everton Soccer Club.
That's not going to win him too many votes. Should have stuck with Liverpool.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. He was a secretary to Culture, Media, and Sport. Okay. At one time.
That's a vote in the plus side. I don't know what he did as the.
So he looks like the likely successor.
Now, what does the king think of all this?
Well, he was. I haven't seen much of what he
think he's going to wait quietly until their first meeting.
Yeah. I think you're not going to see anything out of him until the election is done, and then what does he have to do? He has to accept the prime minister, right? The prime minister have to go visit the palace and get the king's acceptance.
That'll happen. Maybe bring the Hollies' greatest hits with you.
And the Hollies will be over there playing for his inauguration. But they've had so many lately. Who knows? Maybe they won't be available, and Steve Bates will show up.
Well, we got to work on the lineup, but somebody's got to be available for the show.
Yeah, somebody's got to. I don't know who else would be available, but
I think. How about Deep Purple?
Paul
My Woman from
McCartney.
Tokyo.
Paul
Yeah,
McCartney is around. He'll play anything these days.
Bring Ringo.
Hey, there you go. Who doesn't like Ringo? There's probably a couple of Beatle fans that are still miffed at the whole
Pete Best.
Paul is dead thing and, Lennon and McCartney. But nobody doesn't like Ringo.
That's the truth. Even Pete Best likes him.
Yeah. I mean, he's Ringo. He's like he always was the most lovable Beatle.
Yep.
You can't do better than Ringo. I should have named Erin Ringo. All right, man.
Give her a nickname. Okay, Vin.
We do it on Wednesday.
Welcome back to America.
Thank you. It's good to be home.
By the way, what was your takeaway from your time in Canada, aside from the people that you enjoyed?
That it seems like they got their shit together.
And it's obvious on the streets.
Yeah, I mean, they just look. You know what? The people look happy. Here, the people don't look happy. Everybody seems pissed off here about something, right? I mean, you walk around, you look at people, you look at them driving there. There's just, people, they're going the speed limit on the highways. They're in the stores and stuff. The people work at the fast food places. The poutine was good. They just look happy.
Do you have Canadian bacon?
I did not have Canadian bacon. No, I had what did I have? Well, I had the poutine. That was a Canadian thing that I had. And otherwise, eggs, regular breakfast. I mean, Canadian bacon you get here. I mean, I don't even think the Canadians eat. Matter of fact, the bacon I got was American bacon. I don't even think the Canadians eat Canadian bacon anymore.
That's a relief to the poultry industry, I'm sure.
They're happy.
All right, with your eggs. I don't know. It's the bacon from somewhere.
All right. See you Wednesday, pal.
See you.
The Lord's will and the creek don't rise.
Welcome home.
Thank you. Peace, love, Manischewitz, baby.
It's quite a wine, but get some now because Netanyahu could pull the plug anytime.
Be good, man. Take care. Thank you all for listening too, man.